Nigeria is already in serious trouble. It is a dangerous system to operate where the entire commonwealth and decision-making of a nation and a people is handed over to one person or a group of persons. If you want to see what state capture look at Lagos State, where one person has been de facto governor for the last 24 years. Forget whoever that is sitting there. You decide to bring who you want. If they go against you, you remove them from there. The commonwealth of the people is pocketed. And then you begin to dole out cash. You remember during the time President Tinubu they contest in 2023, one actor come out, he butt naked in the beach, praying for the success. What happened? He said when he was sick, the then aspirant supported him to be treated overseas when he was governor. When you are governor, the money you are supposed to use to provide health insurance for your people, you decide to personalize it. Then people who are close to you, you begin to give one after the other. But you are also on life pension since you left as governor. So where did you get the money to become a philanthropist? Nigerian politicians become philanthropists without enterprise. You had no business, no profit after tax, but immediately you became governor and left. You became a billionaire. From where? How much is your salary? What do you earn? So you are using people's money for philanthropy. So that is the danger of moving that Lagos template to the national, where one person decides what happened in your local government. You are not from, you may be from Abia, you may be from Rivers. They will decide who will be senator there. And the person who goes there is no longer loyal to you because you people did not send him there. His interest is now the principal who took him there. Complete state capture. You do not know anything about the budget. You do not know anything about your... Human rights and justice becomes the decision of the person in power. They become the authority. So whatever they say becomes law. It is no longer about the people. That is not a democracy.
Boom! Ladies and gentlemen, you're all welcome to Say My Piece, yet another episode on this beautiful podcast, Say My Piece Podcast. Oscar, we are here again. My name, as usual, Michael Uba, AKAH Ogbolo. You understand? Ogbos, baby. You get me now? You get me now? All right, so as usual, I'm supposed to be here with my second in command, you understand? But today, that second in command is on some type of, she said, make she just rest more. Body no be firewood, you get. Now blood, they run through our body. So at the end of the day, she got to rest. But I'm not here alone. I'm here with someone who I believe Nigeria needs to listen to more. Someone who I believe is making great impact. I mean, one way or the other, inspiring a number of the Nigerian youths right now to take Nigeria seriously. Because right now what we need at the moment be that. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't call him the guest. He's my co-anchor today, but we're just going to be vibing on the state of the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, help me make welcome Peter AKAH, aka Peter for Nigeria. Brotherly, you are welcome.
The Oracle. I celebrate you.
You are welcome. You are welcome.
My absolute pleasure.
Yes, so how you be now?
I mean, how it go be? It's not every day we see celebrities and sit with them.
See, this matter of celebrities, now set up sometimes. This thing, what is that? Your celebrity set up.
I want me you ask me, say you want to get to know me today. Let me tell you a little about myself.
Oh yeah, now
I do pay 20K.
That's what they call me last time. Say, one of my person they owe. Say that use me take put on ground as one thing. I say I beg. I know it not the person.
You be guarantor where you don't know.
I don't know. They don't use me to do guarantor.
There's no guarantee that I can guarantee anything.
Peter, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
With this, we see all of what you're doing on social media. And it's very inspiring, like I said. And one way or the other, we just believe that it was important that you come on the show today. Let us discuss Nigeria. Let's discuss Nigeria. But before we, delve into very, very serious talk, first things first, just give us a little background for, what you studied in school. How did you jump into this particular area? How are you this conversant with political affairs, with, current affairs and all of that? I know that anybody that sees you, first thing they ask now, say, how you think they put all these things inside head? But just give us a brief history.
The brief about me, of course, you know my name. Peter AKAH is my name. Peter for Nigeria now.
Yeah.
And in fact, they talk about my discipline and how, what I studied. Now, another talk for another full podcast. I did basic medical science. I actually wanted to do medicine and surgery. Maybe because my mother was a nurse, I thought, and I was good with sciences. But somehow, I found myself into, as they talk, now Nigeria, they plan your life. Hey, really, they talk like they go say, na jam, give me.
Yeah.
Hey, if person know, he pass WAEC and he get A, he go say, I make A.
Yes.
If he get F, he go say, they give him F.
Give him F, yeah.
And then jam go give you course where you. So we find ourselves. But I believe most importantly that what I'm doing now is more of a calling. It's more of, God's design. The Almighty say, this is a part that I will want you to function in.
Okay.
And then He will give you the grace and abilities to do it. Because I don't know how I also got there. I only know that as a human being, I'm very interested in humanity. I want to know, unlike other young people, if I meet a person, the first thing why they ask you, be like music about, I want to know, are you in school? If you are not in school, why? If you don't graduate, do you have a job? So those instincts now propel me to see that for you to affect people's life, government is the center of it all. Now, so I begin to put my focus there, and then I got to where I am today. So there is not just so much about whatever that I am.
Okay, but you've been very inspiring, I must say, because right for me, I stay on your page a lot just because, again, I know to like politics matter, to be honest, because it can be frustrating.
Yes.
Especially in the country at the moment, with how it is at the moment, it can be very, very frustrating. But at the same time, I believe that we need more voices on platforms to begin to speak, because if all of us literally follow the way we feel about the nation, people may not necessarily make moves.
No.
You understand? So either way, you've been inspiring to a number of young Nigerians, not just young Nigerians, I believe older people too, one way or the other.
Your words are kind. Thank you.
All right, so now let's jump into Nigeria matters. All right. We will end this because what I intend for us to really achieve from today's interview is the way forward.
Yes.
Because a number of times we seem to have sat on problems
for too long.
Yeah. Nigeria's situation just seems like a soap opera. At every point, one new episode,
extraordinary every day.
Every day, one new episode, and one, episodes back to back. But let's start from where we are right now, because there's no way to talk about the way forward without talking about where you are presently, and probably what has also led us to where we are at the moment. You talk a lot about the justice system in Nigeria and all of that. Briefly, or quickly rather, this issue of Senator Natasha, for example, and Akpabio, and all of what she has also come out to do one way or the other. In fact, in recent video that surfaced, I think a day or two, showed her going to her hometown and being received
by her people.
So right now, that one alters a number of things that have been said before now as to people who came together to sign, her recall and all of that. Tell us a bit about what so far has surfaced to that point and what you feel about it.
Before I even go into that, as you said, a lot of people, Nigerians, do not actually have interest in politics. But the truth of the matter is that whether you are into politics or not, politics is into you. As a human being in this world, you don't need to do anything. If you want to breathe clean air, if you want to sleep in your house and wake up, as you walk on the road, as you take bike or bus or you buy fuel, you are into politics. So the choice is left to you to either decide to participate and choose or decide who should be making the decisions for you, or you allow charlatans to run the system for you and control your life however. So if you decide to sit aside, then whatever becomes the result of it, you will have to deal with it. So we are all into politics. The case of Natasha, on a normal day, many people go talk, say when politicians have their issues, you should leave them because it is politics. But this one is very sensitive because what is happening today in Nigeria, there is a deliberate attempt to hijack every institution of state. That is when they say states capture. Nigeria is supposed to be a democracy. And institutions of government, the National Assembly, in fact, from the U.S. Constitution where we adopt, comes first before the presidency. They're supposed to perform oversight on that presidency. But today in the National Assembly, there is zero opposition. Because if you decide to go against the powers that be, they look for a way to silence you. If you say that the woman violated your standing order because you changed her seat and she was talking and she refused to, you suspended her for 6 months. A former a senator in Nigeria from Delta State, led thugs, according to police, into National Assembly to steal the mace, the symbol of authority. Yeah. By 2019, they voted him as Senate Deputy President of Omagege. He was suspended for 14 days. He went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court removed the suspension and asked him to resume. You suspended her for 6 months. Remember, she also made allegation, sexual harassment, abuse of office, in malicious intention to deprive her of her legislative rights and privileges. It is not attended to. It has been thrown away by the Committee on Ethics. You remove her security. Then now you begin a recall. It then means there is a deliberate witch hunt. It has gone beyond standing order. And then when she says she wants to visit her people, governor come out, say they put a ban on public rally. So there is no movement of convoy. She had to use helicopter. So who is after her? And if you see the people who came to receive her, who are the other 250,000 people who want to recall her? And then you see video where people there for one room, they sign. Nobody has investigated it. Not even INEC or the police. The result that took that woman to the Senate, 54,073 votes. But under 2 days, they were able to gather 250,000 petitions. That is to show you that Nigeria's institutions have been weaponized against the people. And if you don't speak up because you think, say, she be senator, when it comes to you, there will be nobody left to speak. Exactly. Because one way or the other, this rubs off on all of us. Yes. I mean, in another episode that we spoke about, we mentioned how this affects you as a Nigerian. Yes. If you think, say, this no go touch you, somehow it affects you. Because the average person, if this can happen to a Senator Natasha, for example, then who you be? That means you small. Yeah, you're too small. I mean, at her own level, if this can happen to her. But you mentioned something about state capture. Yes. Let us talk about state capture, for example, because again, that is what is being discussed at the moment as well. Yes. Because of what's happening in Rivers. I mean, certain people have also linked it to what has happened in Lagos already. What are the side effects of this? Why we are all being silent about it? What and how is this going to affect us negatively as a people? When you say the side effects, Nigeria is already in serious trouble. It is a dangerous system to operate where the entire commonwealth and decision-making of a nation and a people is handed over to one person or a group of persons. If you want to see what state capture look like, look at Lagos State, where one person has been de facto governor for the last 24 years. Forget whoever that is sitting there. You decide to bring who you want. If they go against you, you remove them from there. The commonwealth of the people is pocketed. And then you begin to dole out cash. You remember during the time President Tinubu they contest in 2023, one actor come out, he butt naked in the beach, praying for the success. What happened? He said when he was sick, the then aspirant supported him to be treated overseas when he was governor. When you are governor, the money you are supposed to use to provide health insurance for your people, you decide to personalize it. Then people who are close to you, you begin to give one after the other. But you are also on life pension since you became, you left as governor. So where did you get the money to become a philanthropist? Nigerians politicians become philanthropists without enterprise. You had no business, no profit after tax, but immediately you became governor and left. You became a billionaire. From where? How much is your salary? What do you earn? So you are using people's money for philanthropy. So that is the danger of moving that Lagos template to the national, where one person decides what happened in your local government. You are not from, you may be from Abia, you may be from Rivers. They will decide who will be senator there. And the person who goes there is no longer loyal to you because you people did not send him there. His interest is now the principal who took him there. Complete state capture. You do not know anything about the budget. You do not know anything about your... Human rights and justice becomes the decision of the person in power. They become the authority. So whatever they say becomes law. It is no longer about the people. That is not a democracy. Democracy is a system of government by the people for the people. Exactly. So unless what we want to do is called something else, if we want to call it autocracy or monarchy, good for us. But if it is a democracy, you must resist state capture because your rights and freedoms depend on your institutions working independent of political powers.
Because at the moment, this state capture thing, a lot of us seem to be some type of quiet about it. And this just even goes beyond state capture.
Yeah.
I mean, the entire issue in the country, like we said earlier, episode to episode to episode. One thing happens, we are talking about that one. Before we talk that one finish, another thing has happened.
Yeah.
And, it sometimes seems like a distraction from their own end.
It is.
To just keep us, running after talk, while other things are
happening in the background.
Now, where the country is at the moment, like you said, it's in a terrible state. A terrible state. Look at this NYSC girl we come out which day.
Right.
And she said all that she said. Next thing, they wanted to come after her and all of that. Why do you think people are not necessarily talking as Nigerians or giving the energy we should be giving to politics in the country and how we are being handled as people?
Couple of reasons. Number one, there is a dangerous level of ignorance that exists amongst Nigerians.
Ourselves.
Yes, and this ignorance is not just with uneducated or illiterate people. It is even more with the educated. Nigerians do not really understand politics and how institutions should work. We have a shallow understanding of what even the thing we call democracy should be. And then now coupled with illiteracy.
Yeah.
When you have 20 million out of school children, that illiteracy is now weaponized against the people. The more you don't know, you cannot request for a person. An unenlightened mind is in bondage. What you don't know is you are a slave to it.
Exactly.
So as long as they keep you people at that level, you are poor and you are illiterate, it is weaponized against you. So you are also enslaved. Then the third one will be that Nigerians almost have no reason to want to speak up, because one of the only times, October 2020, when Nigerians came out en masse to talk about something that was bothering them. They were complaining about law enforcement brutality. What was the response? They unleashed even more brutality on them. Till today, NSAS protesters are still in prison, some of them.
God.
The Lagos state government has not even agreed to how many people died. How many bodies were in the mortuary? Who turned off the lights at Lekki Tollgate? Who ordered the shooting? What of the NSAS panels that were set up? Where are the reports? How many officers were convicted? So tomorrow, if there is a protest to end bad governance, by the time you go outside, your mama see, go call you for phone, say, sit down for house. So no, go put your head, make it no be say, now your blood, Nigeria go take better. So Nigerians have that apathy. We have reason to be, concerned about our personal lives. But what is the other option? If you talk, you will die. If you no talk, people are dying without protesting.
Exactly.
As long as you are here, you can become a victim at any time.
True.
Your own may not be stray bullets. If it be the carry, you go loot now, there is no emergency. True. There is no oxygen.
True.
It can be a lecturer that is troubling a girl in the university until I have sex with you, you will not pass.
True.
So Nigeria's problem are diverse. We just need to find the courage to continue to speak up. Regardless of whatever that is stopping us from speaking. Because if you are looking for reasons not to act, there are many. But you must find the one reason why you should do something and do it in your own best interest. People are dying in Benue State. They are not it's not because of protest. People are dying in Akure, headsmen killing people. In Edo, in Zamfara. People are dying all over Nigeria. They did not protest. So you must find the courage to come out and talk and demand for value to be put on your life. If not, we all die in silence.
Because the whole NSAS thing, I believe that part of what the shooting and all of that happened did to the mind of the average Nigerian is that it instilled a level of fear.
That is the idea. A
level of fear, and at the end of the day, some people felt that that whole thing, the thing no work. That 2020, that NSAS matter no work. Just came out to make noise and blah blah blah. How I see it though is that it also showed us what can happen if we as Nigerians come together.
The power of unity.
The power of unity, exactly. Because it didn't just happen at that toll gate. It was happening all over Nigeria.
Across the country.
And across the country. Because I know of my friends who are in London.
And overseas, across the globe, actually.
Actually, so it spread. For me, it showed us the power of unifying ourselves, coming together as a people. But at the same time, it also, the end of it, instilled fear in the minds of people. So now people are walking around, make I no go come out. If I go come out now, me go collect. Because again, if you look at celebrities, for example, they made a show of Macaroni. And used him as an example, like a scapegoat. If we can do this to him.
Imagine you who does not have a name.
You does not have a name, that means we can literally wipe you out.
And nothing will happen.
But where do you feel that the 2020 move, that NSAS move, where do you think that we could have done better as a people?
I always tell people, anger is not a plan. Say you dey vex for government is not a strategy. Because you are angry about something does not mean you will make a right decision or action.
True, it's just emotional.
It's emotion. The NSAS movement was a very, very important and legitimate request and demand. But of course, like many other socio-political movements in Nigeria, it derailed because there was no strategic planning and leadership. You see that thing where they talk, say we no get leader, we just get 5/5 agenda.
Yeah.
Nigeria is a sophisticated criminal enterprise, the leadership in Nigeria. This corrupt system have been in existence for more than 60 years. If Nigerian leaders do not know anything, they know corruption and criminality.
So they are masters at it.
If you want to come for Nigerians, there must be a plan and a strategy. We no get leader, it will not work. Nature abhors vacuum.
Yeah.
Somebody will step in and control you.
Yeah.
If you can't speak the truth, somebody will control you with lies.
Yeah.
When we come out and we say 5/5, NSAS, the DMs I send to people who been they lead those things, people like Files, Funke, celebrities, because of course my voice is not audible. Nobody knows me. But I knew that there was a problem.
That time.
Yes, at that time.
Yeah.
I knew there was a problem. We are shouting NSAS 5/5. The big picture should tell you that the problem is not just SARS. It's a bad law enforcement.
Yeah.
If you end SARS, you will end EFCC. You will protest for DSS. You will protest for civil defense.
Yeah.
You protest for army. You protest for Air Force. It is a bad law enforcement system. You protest custom. The mama we born that bad police, now bad government. If you don't fix the parents, you can't fix anything.
Exactly.
So we were on the road, day 1, day 2. Buhari now came and said, I have ended SARS. But guess what? I have created SWAT, which they have the power to do constitutionally. So the legitimate question will be, why are you still on the street? That was the wisdom that we were supposed to have had. The way you talk about SARS in Lagos is not how the youth in Kano talk about SARS.
True, exactly.
That protest was not nationwide.
Yeah, it was majorly a Lagos thing.
And certain persons will now begin to put undertone of tribe and ethnic sentiments. Because the president is from here.
Yeah.
The larger picture would have been electoral reform. Occupy NAS. We don't have any business being at the toll gates or anywhere. Identify the institution where you want reform from, shut it down and get what you want. Any protest that have multiple demands is a protest that will not be effective. That during end bad governance, you saw 10/10, you are wasting time. It won't work. Look at Sri Lanka, see Bangladesh. The prime minister should leave electoral reform. One, finish. Double down on it until you get result. It is happening in Serbia now. Nigerians need that focus. We need people with that kind of mindset to galvanize everybody with a strategy and also to keep Nigerians safe even in those protests.
That's because at this point, like you mentioned, we actually need a plan. It is not just about talking on social media. It's not just about leaving comments. It's not just about, coming to just rant.
It changes nothing.
It changes nothing, actually. We need a plan.
Yes.
But talking about this issue of a savior, you understand? Because right now, everybody wants someone to go ahead first. And hey, maybe we see. You get some people just want somebody to make the call for everybody to gather
to come out.
So that's what everybody is
waiting for.
Nobody is wanting to stick their head out. Everybody just they make they manage my own life. When I say something, even with the NSAS issue, that's how it happened. On day 1, people were not everywhere. On day 1,
when they saw that,
that's become a jamboree. Everybody started coming in.
Body.
Yes, because again, to be honest, I was there, and I saw it. Some people were not necessarily there because of Nigeria.
It was a party.
It was a party. It was a carnival. For some people, some other persons caught on it and said, "Okay, this is the reason why we are here, right?" And at the moment, we actually need a plan, an actual plan. But then, before we also now go into that plan, what needs to happen to the mind of the average Nigerian? Because before we come to talk of plan now, how do we really encourage the average Nigerian now to become a bit more courageous? Because make I tell you the truth, you're passionate about this thing. I'm passionate about Nigeria. There's some people who just look and say, man, look, I don't tire.
No, just leave this thing. It can't work.
People don't do it before you. Why your own different? People don't die now. They don't pursue Nigeria.
It no feel better.
You get. So how do we work on the mind of the average Nigerian. I saw rice being shared in the north not too long ago and all of that. And I was discussing with somebody. I said, if we won't do anything for 2027 and make it right, now we'll go start one or two things.
The window is even closing.
It's closing, of course.
Yes, it's 2025.
Of course.
So,
and these same guys that want to fight, they're already going ahead.
They have already put everything in place for 2027.
Exactly. So what does the average Nigerian need to do, starting from the mind at the moment? Because before we talk about say carry action, your mind has to change.
Yes.
Because Nigeria at the moment is like that person who has been abused over and over and over and over. Now you're falling in love with your captor.
Yes. You are even traumatized. You are in a bad relationship with you, but you can't leave.
Because you can't leave. Even if they open doors, say, make a
the devil I know.
Yes, exactly. And you're taking the crumbs from the table and you're feeling that is life.
Nigeria. There will have to be a mindset reevaluation.
Yeah.
But we need to help ourselves. A lot of Nigerians know that they need something better.
Yeah.
You know they teach person where they poor say it need better government. Nobody needs to sensitize you. You were buying a bag of rice for 15,000. It is now 80,000. No be person go preach to you say country hard. You been the enter motor from Lekki go Oworu for 500 or 600. It don't be 15. No be person go explain to you.
Yeah.
Nothing mobilizes and sensitizes the people more than bad governance. So Nigerians already have the understanding that there is serious stress and pressure on everybody.
Yeah.
Cost of fuel, dollar, to do this, house rent. But the thing is, how do we channel this our pain now into passion to get results for ourselves?
Yeah.
That is the disconnect. Because when you want to do that one, ethnic sentiment go come in, religious sentiments go come in.
Yeah.
What we need to do now is to do more away with distractions. Nigerian youths, we are so much into entertainment, which is beautiful. I love entertainment. You are an entertainer too. But when entertainment is taking you from the focus of your own life, because a lot of the concerts where you they go and all that, now when you they come back, night police go stop and carry you. If you get dreadlock for your head, they profile you. Before you know, they carry you put for somewhere. If nobody here, some people have gone extinct, disappeared like that. So we must now reroute our focus to our personal lives. And then one after the other, begin this conversation of how waiting we won't do now, waiting we won't do. Whether person go lead them or not, somebody will lead. Leadership will come. And Nigerians must get that courage, because there are prominent people in Nigeria who are also fed up with this system.
True.
So they too must summon up the courage to come out and say, see, do you know that there were big people in Nigeria who supported NSAS, including politicians?
Yes.
Even from America, people like Hillary Clinton, Beyonce tweeted to support. Everybody is waiting for that. We must continue this conversation as we talk today now. Another person go here, another person go here. Then we begin to put focus on what is the solution? What should we do now? We filter the main issue from the noise and we focus on it. Now, so we go build that momentum. That is how we are going to achieve to bring everybody. Everybody will not catch the spark at the same time. But the few way they continue.
Little
don't grow weary. Don't grow weary. Continue to. Eventually, everybody will fall in line.
Because again, look at the last elections. I believe that the NSAS matter was also what inspired many people to come out to vote. Then the election happened to everybody. INEC happened to everybody.
INEC.
Basically. So right now, people are saying, 2027, I know they come out.
Me and you.
I know they fall out. Now, this literally just means that we don't ready to just enter inside more of our wahala.
Yes.
Because this is us now looking and saying, the boss won't get accident, now make all of us go get the accident. And it's a very terrible place. Because again, the mind of the average Nigerian has been messed with. And that is where we are. The average Nigerian will tell you now, say, God go help us. That line, God go help us. It seems to be...
Now, the end of every Nigerian conversation, my brother, go help us.
God go help us. Now God and we did. All of those talk, at the end of the day, it's not a plan, like you said.
Yes.
It is not. It is not. And we must do something.
We must.
We have to do something. But then there was something you said on one of your posts on IG, and I'll quickly read it out. It said cowards who are emboldened. So we don't have leaders.
Yes.
So we have cowards who are emboldened by the docility of the people.
Yes.
Are Nigerians docile, or we're just simply frustrated?
A combination of the two. When you are frustrated about a situation, what do? You want to change it. You become eager to alter the status quo. A situation you are ready to manage, you would not change. What does your frustration lead you to? That is the important thing.
True.
It is not about being tired. It is not about, say, the team, it frustrates you. Waiting you come do. You come house every time. Una let NEPA, they get line. This face, una day, light, they trip off, they get low current. The frustration will push you to take an action to resolve that issue.
True.
That is where the docility come in. You become so frustrated with a situation that you are now ready to accept it as your norm. That is where Nigerians must get the courage. See, the problem with Nigeria is that we have not put focus where focus is needed.
Yeah.
You talk something about, and you mentioned about electoral. INEC, you talked about 2023 election.
Yeah.
INEC is the weapon that is fashioned against Nigerians. Nigerians have failed to understand it. The only reason why Nigerian politicians behave the way they behave is because they know that there are no consequences for anything.
No accountability.
Nigerian politicians are the luckiest people in the world. No matter what they do, they will go scot-free. A Nigerian politician can even kill a person's mother and the son will come and campaign for him because they are poor. He knows how to, weaponize that poverty against them.
Yeah.
The only reason why Tinubu declared state of emergency in Rivers State is not because he knows it is legal. It is not because he knows it is illegal.
Because they will not do
it's
anything
because he knows that he can do it and nothing will happen. And it plays into his political calculation. If he knows there were consequences, he won't try it. What is the first method of accountability? It has to be through election. The only way you can hold anybody accountable as a politician is at the ballot box. If you don't fix INEC, you have not fixed anything. As terrible as, let me tell you, do you know that NSAS started before 2020? As far back as 2017, 2018 on Twitter.
Yeah.
It gathered more than 2 million tweets on Twitter.
Yeah.
In fact, Jack Dorsey, the founder then, made a symbol for tweets for NSAS on that app, Twitter. Why did Buhari not end it before the 2019 election? He knew it would not affect that election. No matter what, no matter how a calamity he was, he will do 8 years. And after the 8 years, he will install a successor. And same thing with Tinubu. No matter what Tinubu does, if he continues to control INEC and law enforcement, 2027, he has a second term. Once he's done with 8 years, he will bring a person. And if you think that it cannot get worse, there is no worst case scenario in Nigeria. If you think that this is the bad, they will show you that there is something called worse.
Yeah.
So until all of us begin to sing the song of reforming INEC, there is even no need voting in 2027 if you leave this current INEC. Who will come and tell you there was a glitch and then the server did not work after receiving 313 billion. So that is where the focus needs to be. Your frustration is not frustration enough if it is not pushing you to take action. That is Nigeria's disconnect. Everybody they vex. This government don't tire me. This one don't tire me. It don't tire you. Okay, so what thing you go do? I go sleep. I go wake up. The thing where you sleep complain about, you go meet them when you wake up again. Your pikin where you born today, you go learn how to they shout up NEPA. The thing where you been they shout 30 years ago. They go born them today. Because why? The NEPA never see the work.
Never see the work.
Now so Nigeria matter be. Frustration must be turned into passion to get positive result. If not, it is useless.
So now you said in one of your videos as well that we need to go to a National Assembly.
Yes.
That is a major move.
Yes.
I mean, that for me feels like an actual plan.
Yes.
If you want to do it, now, because those are the guys who put these laws on ground. Just share more light on that.
Look, Nigerians do not believe that they can put pressure on their leaders to get what they want.
Because again, many Nigerians they see leaders now as saviors.
As the Messiah.
As messiahs.
And then, apart from as Messiah, as untouchable.
Untouchable, true, yes.
Yes, as people that you cannot. When I talk about reforming INEC, the first question where many people go ask me and say, how can the same people where they benefit from INEC go reform them? Then the question I go come ask you be say, when una been come out to do end bad government protest, if you know say the people will be bad government no go fit end them, what gives you the mind that you can end bad government? And then again, ask yourself the simple question, how do you end bad government? By electing good governance. How do you elect good governance? It's through election. So everything comes back to election.
Back to election.
So that National Assembly is the place where electoral reform will be gotten. And Nigerians must get the courage to exert the maximum civil pressure on lawmakers to do what they need to do in the best interest of the country. Shebi all of them say they are Democrats. Shebi una say na democracy with the practice.
Yeah.
So who come they fear free and fair election? Is it Tinubu? Shebi you are Jagaban. You are a very popular person. Free and fair election, you should be able to win fair and square. Me, I don't have a problem. Even if Nigerians want to elect a goat as their leader, they should elect it, but it should be the decision of a majority of the people under a free, fair, and credible process. Yeah. So no matter how long it takes, Nigerians will have to go to the National Assembly. We go camp there. It is not Akpabio's house. It is not the Speaker's house. Yeah. It is the People's Parliament. People go there to make laws for us. Nigeria will not change until the people in power begin to be afraid of the power of the people. As long as we are the ones afraid of them, that is Shege Pro Max. We will be moving into criminality and corruption Armageddon. Nothing will get better. But once we realize the power of the people and go there and demand, see, if you start to tell Nigerian politicians today, say, we are protesting, there is increase in fuel. There is high cost of living. You will see the president go come out. He go tell you, say, don't worry, we will bring down cost of rice. We will distribute rice. They will look at fuel. But do a protest, a sample, and say we want electoral reform. Say we want INEC to work independently. Now there you go see. You go see drama. Because they know say, now there everybody gonna see. Now INEC. And once election day okay where you fit elect, a lot of the people who are in that National Assembly will not be there.
True.
Some of them did not contest primaries. Now court, judiciary, they corrupt Nigerian judiciary and the criminal INEC that sent them there. They don't represent any senatorial district. They represent INEC and judiciary there. Finish. Once you fix INEC, you will begin to drain the swamp out of that place. So that place where they no one fix, you must continue to insist. So the National Assembly is where you will get it. That is where we go. And it go happen. Me, I go there. Because this Nigeria will not die here. We live here.
Because right now, if you in Nigeria matter be now, you know, if you are still in the country and you're not talking about jackpine, you are looked at as someone with no serious.
Yes,
that is what is happening.
You play with your life.
Yeah, I mean, most of the guys who don't come up for the country will say, you are still in that country. You've not left.
They go even they tell me say they talk say Nigeria go better. No fine visa come on. Now you born Nigeria.
But it's so sad because again, man, we still have our children and our children's children. Eventually, if everybody jackpot for the country, who won the country at the last?
Apart from who won the country, Ogbolo, how easy is it to jackpot today?
It's not even been so. Say, one of my family members they charge.
Do you know the cost of proof of funds where people they do? You know how many families they in debt because one person won't travel?
Yeah.
Do you know what it has cost some people who have taken illegal means to go out of you know how many Nigerians don't die for Mediterranean Sea? Do you know how many Nigerians are languishing in prisons in Mali and Libya, in Tripoli? As we are talking today now, Nigerians are stranded in Libya. Nigerians are in India. They don't have official papers. They are stuck somewhere. Nigerians are in prisons in Indonesia, in Jakarta, because everybody wants to leave. The countries you are living to, the number one destination where everybody been they go is the United States. They see what Trump they do with people, immigration now. Because even the Western world is tightening its own policies.
Yeah.
The people outside are complaining that everybody where they come spoil our country, they come do this. They don't want to know the economic importance of migration. Now Canada, you won't go. The economy of the West is even also in problem. That is why tomorrow Trump go wake up, he say he's putting 20% tariff on EU goods. He's putting tariff on, because everybody is trying to protect their own America first agenda. So the places you are migrating to. So at this age, make I leave Nigeria, Congo, they do waiting for this thing. They work for mortuary, they do cleaning job. So if I gather 30 million where I forfeit use, invest for country, I go come carry and go there. Then depression go start to the kid. If I go, how many of my family I go carry? My mother is still here, she's a widow. My siblings are here. How will my mind be at rest until all of us don't come out? So is the japa truly an end or a means to an end? That is the question we must ask. So no matter how much you do it, you know how many Nigerians will get money where they oversee, where they pray, make Nigeria better, make their comeback.
Yeah.
We must find the courage to fix it. To run cannot even solve the problem. That jackpot way with the jackpot. So I don't blame people who are going. A lot of people are going for their own mental health. True. Make their feet rest. Make Nigeria no frustrate you. Kidnapper, stray bullet and all that. I understand. And I no stop anybody. But I'm saying at the end of it, it will not even solve the problem.
It won't solve the problem, Because that is the honest truth. It's not going to solve the problem, you know. So now, moving forward, you know, like I said at the beginning of the whole thing, everything now boils down to, you know, how we intend to move forward, what we intend to do to move forward. You've spoken about us going to the National Assembly and all of that. I think, again, like I said, it's a beautiful plan, right? And we've also spoken about the mind of the average Nigerian, how that needs to change. Because right now, we are distracted, though. I'm an entertainer and I can say it. If you come out entertainment, you know, take it off social media or whatever powers we seem to have on social media. Or as you know how they will say in Africa, don't come against Nigerians. So Nigerians,
they will mobilize and come for you.
They will finish. Yes. Why don't we just use that same power,
transform it to physical action?
Yes,
for our own
for
good.
our own good.
If Ghana come for us, in fact, if you combine all African countries, they come for Nigeria, none of them go survive.
Nigerians we bad.
Nigerians no get money, but they go see money do that sub. Yeah. That MTN data way they say don't cost so. Everybody go there online
to finish you.
Yeah, South Africa, Ghana, for where?
See what we happen with South Africa now. Nigerians were ordering fridge to send.
They order this thing, go send from Nigeria here. They go order something. They go give.
Let's just open door, you see fridge. No one Nigerian, no.
The girl who was denied the pageantry in South Africa, see how she turned out.
Yeah.
Because of the mobilization of Nigerians.
Yeah.
Nigerians have one of the most resilient spirits anywhere in the world.
True.
And that is why when we leave this country, it be like say they go do charm or blood money.
Yeah.
They must excel. There is no shege way you won't show any human being where shege pass within Nigeria government don't show Nigeria.
Honestly.
So if the Nigerians go any country, they say the country hard, they go say relax. Now so now they do here. Nigerians they Iraq.
Yeah.
As I'm talking to you now, if you go check, maybe before Gaza was start, Nigeria been there Gaza.
One of my picking get picky for Iraq. Na Igbo boy get picky for Iraq. As we talk.
Igbo man get shop for Iraq. That ICANN spirit, we have not been able to channel it to fix our system for ourselves.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, religion has not helped us any better.
Where does religion really come into this thing? You know, because again, I think a number of people don't even know, because people go also open mouth, they talk religion, any small thing, they also find who to blame.
Yes.
And some people are not necessarily, you know, pointing that in the right direction.
Yes.
But how has religion really affected, if you were to speak to the religious sect, for example, you know, and how they are affecting this whole thing and making it worse for us, what would you say to them?
The religious community in Nigeria, as good as religion is, has turned out to be one of the most hypocritic set of persons. Yes, in Nigeria, especially our religious leaders, some of them. We have leaders in this country who have the capacity to decide the outcome of an election.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Nigerian religious leaders, we must be true to whatever we are saying. When Christ came to this world, he came to minister to the people who were downtrodden, those who were, you know, cast out. 70 to 80% of what we spend time praying for in churches and in mosques are not spiritual issues. They are issues that will be sorted by an efficiently working governance system. We must stop telling the false narrative that they are miracles. If a person is healed from going to hospital, it is a miracle. God created the health sector and all of that. If person they pray, say miracle money, miracle, unless you are a thief. All of these things that we talk about, now the duty of religious leaders is to ensure that you enlighten the people such that they know their civic responsibilities, and you also become a mouthpiece to speak out for them in time of challenges. But during elections, you never hear from most of our religious leaders, because you cannot even differentiate them from the politicians.
Yeah, but last election, a number of them came out to also speak.
Yes, the influential ones amongst them. The ones who come out to speak, they do very well, and of course, we applaud them. A majority of them need to do better because they know. We had a pastor in the former administration of Buhari as vice president. That administration is one of the worst human rights violators in the history of Nigeria. And guess what? That pastor is not just a pastor, he's a professor of human rights law. He lectured law.
But didn't Nigeria also happen to him, even in that system?
Because you do not want to have the courage to be able to speak up. You want to take the low road to the high office. You decided to enjoy the status quo. Then on going out, you want to contest. Even when you came for a second term, you did not have the guts to be able to stand up and say, no, there are certain things that cannot be done. And prove to people that you can also stand in for them. That is what Mordecai said they should tell him and tell Esther in the Bible. Do you know that you are here for a time like this? What were you doing there in the administration for 8 years? You superintended the killing of innocent Nigerians on October 20th without a word from you. without anything pricking your conscience, and you come out to begin to preach the Bible, let us stop this hypocrisy. Religious leaders know the truth. When you see a politician come to your church and come and tell you, I'm donating 200 million because we have a church project, you think that money is from where? His salary? No, the testimony is that our project is complete. We don't build headquarters. We are moving to permanent site. It is money from criminality. You are taking part of stolen goods. It is money meant for road and health. Then you now tell us that the Lord will lead you with a pillar of cloud in a day. But you, bad daddy, they use bulletproof car with escort now. So you are doing two-factor authentication. The day where Holy Spirit no do this thing.
You go sharply help yourself.
A pastor was, attacked, assassinated, attempted assassination somewhere in Edo. They killed about 6 of his orderlies. The saving grace was the bulletproof van. Himself and the wife and his daughter were inside. What happened to Holy Spirit? Let us stop making a mockery of God. No miracle passed the creation of human being. God empowered us to be able to build our systems. You cannot be calling on God to do what he created you to do. It is irresponsibility. It is recklessness. And our leaders in the church, in the mosque, if you are true to what you are called to do, to speak truth to power, you must be able to say these things, not when it is convenient. Then after election, when things are bad, you come out from your hole and begin to tell us to pray for the government. For Catholic Church, we get something they call pray for Nigeria in distress. Do you know that prayer been there before they born me? The time where they start that prayer, 30 years and counting later, Nigeria was past the time when they start prayer. The distress don't even pass.
No be distress again.
I see you now. So which prayer they build Russia? Which prayer they build Chinese economy? Nigerian pastors go to Dubai for conference and seminars. Dubai is an Arab nation. It's an Islamic nation. They open churches there. They fly and go, fly and come back weekend. Which of the prayer is building the economy in Indonesia now? If prayer is what, let us stop. Israel, where we they travel, go for pilgrimage. Israel is defending his country with Iron Dome missile system. Bomb, they call it the mother of all bomb. From there, they go fire rocket, enter Lebanon, fire rocket. The day when Nigeria go war with one country for this thing.
Forget.
Maybe now this your beret, you go.
Now for social media, we will fight. Social media.
Make here for that social media fight, though. That's why that time when Tinubu won't go start, they put mouth, say Nigeria and Chad. They say, Oga, please. We know we are hungry, but we can manage our hunger.
Manage ourselves. All right, so we're wrapping up now. And for me, like I said, we've said so much. We don't have so much time to cover everything. Sometimes I just believe that the gentle nature of Nigerians, will I say the gentle nature? Our ability to think that we can chest everything. We can chest it. No, Allah, it go better. We can chest it go better. Sometimes that becomes our problem because sometimes it feels like a blessing. Sometimes it feels like a curse. But on a final note. What do you have to say, at least before we wrap up this episode?
There is no nation that is great today that did not pass through difficult times like Nigeria. Great nations are built out of a resilient people. They decided to make a difference. America that is there fought wars. Britain colonized America, but today Britain depends on America for its own protection too. So you can rise from whatever that is your own difficulty or challenge. The difference is that Nigerians will need to reroute and reconfigure our focus. The first step to building Nigeria is to ensure that you build an electoral system where you can choose your leaders. When leaders know that if I go in 4 years and I fail to deliver, the same system that brought me can take me out before God and man, they will sit up. But as long as Nigerian politicians know that there is no accountability or consequence for their actions, do not expect anything better. We will give you the worst that can be. We will do whatever we can. In 4 years, we will rig ourselves back into power. And sweetheart, there is nothing the hell you will do.
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that one way or the other, everybody has learned from this. Like I said at the beginning of the entire this episode, we said what is the way forward, basically. What can we do at this point? And like Peter has said, I mean, a number of us need to create more platforms and begin to continue to speak about these things. Don't get distracted by entertainment, what is happening on TikTok, this video, that video, what is happening with the lives of some celebrities and all of that. Those are distractions. A lot is happening within the country, and I think that at this point we all need to bring our energies, our powers, our strength as Nigerians on that social media platform. Begin to use it to just effect a change in this country. We need to speak up. We need to be a bit more focused on Nigeria's problem. Not just talking about it, not just complaining about it, but talking more about the way forward and about solutions. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, from myself and my co-anchor, Peter, thank you very much for being here.
Always
thank you so
a
much.
pleasure.
I appreciate you, my brother.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. From here, we will say goodbye to all of you. God bless you and continue to be a wonderful Nigerian. No worry. God will help us. God will help us. All right, guys. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out.